Why are these guys taking aim at Social Security now? Well, they're following that old line from tech startups. The quote is, move fast, break things. Well, they're certainly breaking things. They're shooting first and aiming later.
In his first major speech since leaving office, former President Joe Biden is back in the spotlight, and he's not holding back. At a packed auditorium in Philadelphia, Biden launched a sharp critique of Donald Trump, warning that the former president's ambitious plans to overhaul the federal government could put Social Security in serious jeopardy. As the 2024 election dust settles and Trump returns to the White House, Biden is positioning himself as a vocal counterweight. His focus? The economic safety net millions of Americans rely on. So what exactly is Trump proposing, and why is Biden so concerned about Social Security? Let's break it down. During his campaign and early 2025 speeches, President Trump has emphasized a sweeping plan to reshape the federal bureaucracy. His goal: reduce government size, root out what he calls deep state inefficiencies, and empower political appointees over career civil servants. One of the key tools Trump plans to use is Schedule F, a controversial classification system that would reclassify thousands of federal employees, making them easier to fire and replace. This could have ripple effects across every federal agency, including the Social Security Administration. While Trump hasn't proposed direct cuts to Social Security, Biden and other critics argue that such structural changes could lead to staffing shortages, delays in benefits, and mismanagement, especially if politically loyal appointees replace seasoned administrators. Biden's speech drew a clear line. He sees Trump's plan as an existential threat to America's most cherished programs, Social Security and Medicare. According to Biden, weakening the integrity of these institutions, even indirectly, could harm seniors, disabled Americans, and working-class families who've spent decades paying into the system. If you dismantle the government's ability to manage programs like Social Security, you're not just cutting red tape, you're cutting lifelines. Biden's remarks reflect a broader Democratic strategy: cast Trump's government overhaul not as efficiency, but as erosion, especially when it comes to federal programs with overwhelming public support.
And Social Security is more than a government program. It's a sacred promise. We made it a sacred promise. 73 million Americans receive Social Security. From their first paycheck to their entire life, they pay into Social Security. And in return, they count on Social Security to be for them when they're going to need it. Folks, must never ever betray that trust or turn our backs on that obligation. Why are these guys taking aim at Social Security now? Well, they're following that old line from tech startups. The quote is, move fast, break things. Well, they're certainly breaking things. They're shooting first and aiming later. And as a result is a lot of needless pain and sleepless nights. My friend Governor O'Malley knows what they're really up to. He says, and I love his quote, they want to wreck it so they can rob it. They want to wreck it so they can rob it. And why do they want to rob it? In order to deliver huge tax cuts to billionaires and big corporations and keep it going. They want to make permanent the 2017 tax cuts, which overwhelmingly benefited the wealthiest Americans and the biggest corporations. In fewer than 100 days, this new administration has made done so much damage and so much destruction. It's kind of breathtaking it could happen that soon. They've taken a hatchet to the Social Security Administration, pushing an additional 7,000 employees, 7,000 out the door in that time, including the most seasoned career officials. Now they're getting ready to push thousands more out the door. Already we can see the effects. For example, thousands of people use the Social Security website every single day to check on their benefits and submit their claims. But now, the technology division of Social Security Administration has been cut in half. And so the website's crashing. People can't sign on to their accounts. What do you think it does to that woman's living alone at 74 years checking and just not able to even find out whether she can't even find out what that disability claim is she had. She can't file a new disability claim. And a lot of these people are being told incorrectly that their benefits have ended. Folks, imagine the panic that causes.
Social Security is already under pressure. Without reforms, the trust fund that pays out retirement benefits is projected to face shortfalls by the early 1930s.
So Social Security is part of the fabric of this country, and it needs to be protected, not just for the elderly, which is what people think of a lot when they think of Social Security, but also for the disabled as well. And that's the population that I work with.
No more trying to up the retirement age. No more restrictions. We want Social Security to remain solvent. We want the government to start taxing the rich because they can afford it. If the rich were taxed appropriately and the cap were lifted off of Social Security would remain solvent indefinitely.
And I suspect that what the Trump administration is trying to do is to cripple the service so that Musk or one of Trump's friends can come in, or maybe a combination of them, can come in to try to rescue it through privatization and make huge money off of it. And that goes with that and a number of other things that Musk does.
Biden argues that now is the time to strengthen, not destabilize the program. He's proposed raising payroll taxes on high earners to extend its solvency. Trump, on the other hand, has remained vague, promising to protect seniors without outlining concrete solutions. And here's where things get murky. If Trump pushes for broader tax cuts or deep spending reductions to offset ballooning deficits, entitlement programs like Social Security could face pressure, directly or indirectly. Even if benefits aren't cut, administrative bottlenecks could slow payments or create red tape for those seeking support. So will Social Security truly be in the crosshairs of Trump's government overhaul? Or is Biden's warning a strategic move to galvanize support? Only time and policy will tell.